I have allergies. I flew all the way out from Boston, and I feel like I've been coughing ever since I landed in Portland, so I apologize if my voice sounds this raspy, but whose ever tent is right over here, I just stole some water, full disclosure, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Also, I actually really do love public speaking. This isn't something that makes me super nervous and something that I dread. I do love public speaking. And I would love to publicly speak without notes, but we all know chemo brain is real, and there are so many good topics I want to get across today, so don't mind the notes. So, we're meeting for the first time today. I know I had the pleasure of meeting several of you yesterday as we were getting set up. Also today, through the podcast, several of you came by our tent and recorded your stories. I got to meet a lot of you. I got to walk the track with some of you, which was really rewarding. But there's a lot of you I'm looking at right now, and we haven't met yet. So I thought it would be really great to start off with some introductions. I also have to say, as a podcaster for Breast Cancer Conversations, I normally work in my PJs, in my house, behind a computer screen, with a microphone, and I do a lot of editing. So today, you are getting a real, uncut, no editing involved speech from a cancer survivor. So introductions. My name is Laura, and I have cancer. That's one way to start. But what I'd rather start with is, hi, my name is Laura, and did you know in the last 10 months that I completed 2 full marathons post-diagnosis? Prior to that, I hiked probably some of the tallest mountains on the East Coast, and some on the West Coast. Prior to that, I decided to learn Italian, and I even accomplished getting my doctorate in education, where I conducted a phenomenological study utilizing bounded rationality to explore complex decision-making. Yes, a lot of big fancy words. That pretty much means I talked to a lot of people, I asked a ton of questions, and I heard a lot of stories. But what I was able to discover when talking to all of these people and their stories was how they navigated these complex decisions that they were making. And we all know cancer is complex. So, my name is Laura, and I have cancer, and I am a statistic. I am one of 8. Yes, we know the numbers. But I don't want to be a statistic, and I don't want my doctor to look at me and see me as a statistic. I want people to know me, my why, my will, my determination. And most of all, I want my doctor to say, I believe in you. I believe in you. Those are really powerful words, right? Yes, thank you. Because it's a mindset. The moment you hear, I believe in you, the healing begins. It's a mindset. So now, that was my introduction. I want to get to know you guys. What would you tell me? Would you tell me, hi, I have cancer? Would you tell me, my spouse has cancer? Would you tell me, my friend has cancer? Is cancer part of your identity? Did you know identity and mood are related? They are. Kind of hand in hand. When you have a positive mood, you are, hi, I'm a mom of 3, and I'm a very proud mother of 3. Or I'm a father, and I coach the Little League baseball team, and I love that. I just got a promotion at work, and I'm Teacher of the Year. It's a wonderful, right? Mood and identity. But when you have a bad day, we all have them, the positive days can turn into negative days, and you become the victim. Because I have cancer. We go around touting, cancer will not define us. We say that cancer is just a chapter in our lives. That is until the annoying neighbors next door invite you to a dinner party, right? And you really don't want to go. Just something that takes up time on your calendar. So all of a sudden, the headaches begin, you're fatigued, you're tired. I'm sorry, I can't go to that dinner party because I have cancer. It's convenient, right? But I want to tell you that we have a choice to make. That we can be proactive about our cancer experiences. We can take ownership of our cancer experience. Because if we don't claim our experience, it will claim us. And let me tell you, it will. Do not be passive about your cancer experience. Everybody's going to have an opinion about your cancer experience. And they will. They'll come out of the woodwork, whether you ask them to or not, and they will tell you their opinion. Because everyone knows somebody who has cancer. And that person went to go see Dr. Stein at the hospital on the other side of town. And they would recommend that you get a second opinion from Dr. Stein also. Well, in case you haven't heard it yet, because you have cancer, next time you go grocery shopping, be sure to pick up some kale. Because I heard kale cures cancer. Cancer is about treatment, plans, medicine. I learned how to pronounce a lot of new words. In fact, I have a new skill set that I put on my resume. Quite proud of this one. That I can identify both the pharmaceutical name of my drugs and the generic names. Why they have two names for the same drug, I don't know. But then again, medicine's not a perfect science. I am not here today to talk to you about medicine or the latest treatments or the advances in research. No, that's not why I'm here today. I am here because I want to share with you what I experienced and how I claimed cancer and defined my experience. So now that we got the introductions out of the way, I'm a lot less nervous. And I want to share some fun facts with you. I was 16 years old and I decided to become a vegetarian. You know, 16, you get your driver's license, you need a cause, save the whales, I'm a vegetarian. By the time I was 27, I was a full-fledged vegan. You know the type, right? The ones that drink like the smoothies every day. They do the shots of the green, the wheatgrass, and I sprinkled chia seeds and flax seeds on absolutely everything. It was awesome. I ate a ton of leafy green vegetables, including that kale. Yeah, you bet I did. By the time I was 34, I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer. Yeah, how could that happen to me? I thought I was doing everything right. That's a phrase I hear all the time from stories of survivors. But how could this happen to me, of all people? I was doing everything right. I never missed a mammogram. So what did I do? I went out for steak. Of course I was angry, I was mad. It was frustrating. But what I came to realize is that this healthy lifestyle that I was living for 2 decades actually delayed the onset of my cancer. It delayed it. And not only did it delay the onset of my cancer, it is the exact tools that I am using right now to prevent it from recurring. Diet, nutrition, lifestyle. These are the tools that I am using to sustain my survivability. I don't even know if that's a word, I just made it up. Chemo, right? So, oh, it is. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Validation, very important. So when you hear the words, I have cancer, and we all know that exact date, maybe even down to like the hour and the minute that we were diagnosed. We know exactly where we were and what happened. We don't remember the words that came after hearing these words, but we remember the date. And just like any significant date, like birthdays or anniversaries, what do? You go out and celebrate, right? You're like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going out for dinner. It's my anniversary, I'm going out to dinner. So I just got diagnosed with cancer. What do? I'm like, William, we are going out to dinner and we are going to celebrate. Not that I have cancer, but that we're celebrating life, because that's what we do, and this is not going to stop us. Thank you. So, we went to our favorite Italian restaurant called Giacomo's. It was lovely. We go here at least once a week. They have most of our money. It's pretty great. But we love this restaurant. We ordered a bottle of wine. We ordered appetizers. We ordered pasta. It was a lovely evening. And it was kind of like going home, because we do go here once a week. We know the waitstaff, and it was quite comforting. We were leaning across the table, holding hands like lovers do, looking into each other's eyes, being all super romantic. You can picture it, right? And I'm sure the waiter thought just the same thing, looking at us, being like, oh my God, is tonight the night he's going to propose? She looks really happy. Then, after looking into each other's eyes, we were holding hands across the table. And then we actually started to talk about the logistics. How do I tell my employer? How do I tell my parents? How do I tell my siblings? How do I tell my friends? Man, this is gonna be really tough. How do I tell the wait staff? I mean, if we come here once a week, they're surely gonna notice my hair, my eyebrows, my eyelashes. I mean, it's gonna be a little awkward. So then of course the tears start coming, dripping down slowly. And by this time, the waiter, who was about to bring out our appetizers, is like, oh God, she's crying. It must be a breakup. So, this is awkward. He turns around, does not bring out the appetizers. I have to compose myself. It was a nightmare. Finally, I'm ready. You can see that we're smiling, we're trying to make jokes. He comes over with the appetizers, puts them down, and William turns to him and is like, oh, don't worry, we're not breaking up. We just have cancer. Okay, things got really weird then. What I didn't realize, however, when William said, oh, don't worry, we're not breaking up, we just have cancer, was that he was slowly starting to build his tribe. He instinctively knew, and I still don't think William answered my question of how you knew how to do this, but he instinctively knew that he had to start recruiting people to be a part of our community. Because when you have a child, it takes a village to raise, right? We've all heard that phrase. And same with a cancer diagnosis. It takes a village to get us through that. And so that's exactly what he was doing. He was telling everybody in that moment, and he continues to, the ladies of the grocery store, the plumber that comes over to our house. He finds a way in every single conversation to bring it up that I have cancer, that we have cancer, that we are going through cancer. Because we're building our tribe, and we need that support. What he was doing was claiming our experience. He was not allowing it to claim us. So claiming your experience is just one part of the puzzle. What I was talking about earlier with this crazy phenomenological study that I did was how do you find meaning in these experiences, though? That's the other half. We need to find meaning. I found meaning by starting my nonprofit, survivingbreastcancer.org. I find it very healing not only to share my story, but to provide a platform for others to share their story, for others to connect with people going through cancer. Some people decide to write a memoir, write a book about their cancer experience. Some people decide to have a documentary, a film. But it doesn't have to be this huge, grandiose accomplishment, right, to make meaning. And I don't want you to stress out about having to make meaning and do this really crazy big thing. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. It could be internal, reflective. It can bring you joy. That is the end, goal, right? Your meaning is when you can smile and you can reflect. And today, that's exactly what you guys are doing. You are making meaning of your cancer experience. You are unapologetically sharing your stories, telling your stories. Look, the sun is coming out, shining on you because of your experience. You're doing it. Just look around all of these tents. You're here today for a very specific reason, and that's really beautiful. You guys were fundraising, asking people for money, asking your friends and your family to donate. You went up to complete strangers and asked them to donate. You even went back to that neighbor's house when you didn't go to their party, and you even asked them for money. And you're like, I'm sorry to go to your party, but I still need some funding because I have a cause. I have a why, and this is really, really important to me. Let me tell you why this is important, right? That is your experience, you're claiming it. That is your why. What you did was not easy, fundraising. I should know, with a nonprofit, it is not easy to fundraise. And you all went through cancer, and that was not easy. And I understand I'm talking to a bunch of overachievers here because you were like, oh, I had cancer, now I need another challenge. I'm gonna go out and fundraise. Very proud of you guys. Your why is significant, but even more so, your why for why you're doing this is powerful. So this night is young, the sun is coming out. We have so many more conversations to be had. Ask people over dinner why they're here. Why is this important to them? And when you're done hearing about their why, their story, what they've been through, and what their loved ones have been through, tell them that you believe in them.